Hi everybody, today we're just going to jump right into how to make a payment on the IRS website. So we're just going to jump right in at irs.gov. If you see this menu at the top, pay is one of the options and you can choose direct pay. If instead you are on mobile or on a device that isn't showing you that menu bar, there should be this menu up in the corner, which again does the same thing. There's an option to do pay. And we want to choose direct pay. Make this a little bit smaller. So direct pay is paying directly through your checking account or savings account, otherwise through a bank, not through a credit card. If you choose to make a payment through a credit card, that's fine, but they will pass through to you that 3% or so Visa MasterCard fee. So when you can, try to make that through the bank account instead. So we're just going to click Make a Payment. Most important, this next screen asks for why you're making a payment. We need the IRS to be able to code your payment correctly to what you want it to be for. So the most common things that we see payments need to be made for are estimated taxes. If you choose estimated taxes, it will automatically fill in that this is to apply to 1040 ES, estimated tax, for the current year. So right now it's filling 2024 for me. That will flip automatically as we switch into a new year. So if you're making an estimated payment in January, February, just be really careful which year you're choosing to make that payment for. The other reasons we often see payments being made are if you have a payment plan with the IRS and you're making an extra payment, balance due payment on a tax return that's been filed, or if you've gotten an IRS letter that proposed a new balance due. These are the numbers of the letters that you most often receive, or if you file an amended return. So those first few options are the ones that we see all the time. The other ones we don't see very often at all. So today I'm just going to pick estimated tax and move forward. It's asking me, are you sure? And that just goes back to how crucial it is that you choose what you mean to choose, because calling the IRS and getting a payment moved is possible if you can get through. So the next step is to verify your identity. So it's going to ask you for some information from a tax return that you have already filed. So you can choose what tax year you have a tax return handy for to pull information from. It's first going to ask you what your filing status was on that tax return, and then your name, social security number, birth date, country of residence, street address, and it really wants that address to match exactly what was on the tax return. One thing to note, if you are making an estimated payment and you are married and you are not the first person listed on the tax return, please do this payment in the name and social security number of the first person listed on the tax return. Even if this is tax for your small business that is being taxed on your joint tax return, the IRS has trouble matching spousal payments for some reason. Hopefully they'll get it figured out at some point, but in all these years they haven't yet. So always a good practice for the first person on the tax return to be the one listed here when you're making an estimated payment. So I'm going to hit pause for a second and fill this out and be right back. And we're back on the next screen. So after that verification information, it's just asking for how much the payment is going to be, to confirm that payment amount, and what date you'd like that payment to be. So one thing that's important to note is, say during tax season, maybe we file your tax return in February or March, but the tax isn't due until April 15th. You can go through this process and choose a payment date of April 15th. It will let you schedule a payment up to 365 days out. Then you'll just enter your bank account information and email address and then continue to complete the payment. Pretty straightforward. It will give you a confirmation page. Definitely print that for your records to PDF. You don't have to print it to paper. If you're working with a tax professional and you're making an estimated payment, definitely get a copy of that confirmation to your tax professional so they can reflect it correctly on your tax return. Let me know if there were any questions or if this was helpful or if there are any other things that you would like to see addressed in future videos. Have a fantastic rest of your day.